Hey guys, we're going to take some notes over evaluating expressions and checking equation solutions. So this first part is about evaluating expressions. Just a couple reminders here. A variable is a symbol, usually a letter, that represents an unknown quantity. So we've X or Y or N, any letter that would stand in for a number. An algebraic expression is going to be a problem or an expression that contains at least one variable, and it usually has some constants and some operations. And remember, there's no equal sign on an expression. And then the word evaluate, you're going to see that a lot. Evaluate simply means to work out the problem or solve the problem. So evaluate means to find the value, you see that root word value, of an algebraic expression by substituting a number for a variable. So different parts of these expressions have different names. This first part here that means that we'd be multiplying 2 times whatever x is going to become, that's called the coefficient. So C-O-E-F-F-I-C-I-E-N-T, coefficient. The letter x there then is a variable. I'm going to turn my paper here so I can write variable in. And then finally, this last part of this particular expression is called a constant. That's a number that's not going to change. So as opposed to a variable, it's a constant. All right, so let's look at our notes here. Now this is designed for you to be able to fold it down so that you can glue it into your journals later using this back side. All right, then if I flip this up, you can see I've got some problems. So our steps are going to be these. First, we're going to substitute, which means to take out the variable and put in a number. So we're going to substitute a number for the variable or variables. Then we're going to solve. We're going to use our order of operations to find the value of the expression. So here's an example. It says that we want to know what x plus 5 equals if 4x equal to 6. That means that we're going to substitute the 6 in for this variable x in the problem. So you can see these expressions could have a multiple number of answers based on what we say the variable is worth. So in this situation, we're going to take the x out and substitute in the 6, and then 6 plus 5, we'll just solve that, and that's 11. Our next example, 3p, which of course we know means 3 times p if p is 5. So we're going to take this 5 and substitute it into the problem for p. Now remember, when we have two numbers together, we don't want to just leave them without an operation symbol because then it looks like 35, and this is really 3 times 5. So we can do that. We could do this, and we could do this, but we want to try to stay away from that because that x starts to look like a variable instead of an operation symbol. So however you write it, 3 times 5 is 15, and our solution then is 15. Our third example here, 9 minus 4h, which means 9 minus 4 times whatever h is. Problem tells us to substitute a 2 in for the h, and so we do 9 minus 4 times 2. Remember that we want to follow our order of operations, so the very last thing that we should be doing is any adding or subtracting. So first we'll multiply 4 times 2 together is 8, and then we'll subtract that 8 from 9, so our answer is 1. Be careful to follow your PEMDAS. Remember, parentheses first, then exponents, then multiply or divide in order from left to right, then add or subtract in order from left to right. Remember, if you find yourself adding or subtracting and there's a multiplication or division sign left in your problem, you're doing it wrong. Adding and subtracting should be the very last things that you do. All right, so I'm going to stop this video. I want you to try the next 3 on your own and then tune into the next video to see how you did.